Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel, starting off with the 144,000, which will be the ruling governing body in the kingdom of heaven, which the 144,000 be all men. The creme de la creme of the 1/3, right, which a lot of the 1/3 will be men, women, and children saved, right? Here in America, the large multitude, 2/3 of our people will be destroyed here in America, Babylon the Great. You also have the rebels that are scattered abroad that will be destroyed, and you have some elect that scattered abroad that will be saved, who the world ignorantly and willingly calls black, Hispanic, Native American, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Jamaican, Haitian, Guatemala, Panamanians, Cubans, right? We are the Israelites, contrary to what people want to believe. I am Brother ARAM. You come back at you with another lesson from thousands of crows swarm Tel Aviv, Israel, man. Our homeland, right? People that I just named, right? The real people of the book, the Israelites, right? This is not a good sign, man. When you see crows or these large, group of birds, man, like this, it's not a good sign, man. The Lord is letting you know doom and gloom is coming and is happening. Right, this is not something that you see every day, and it's probably not something that you see over there every day either. But we're in the times of great judgment. But let me get this in Job 12 and verse 7. It says, "But ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of the air, which are the birds, and they shall tell thee, or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee, and the fish of the sea shall declare unto thee." Right. So these animals, man, animals are spiritual, man. Yeah, they make certain sounds. They have certain patterns, certain things that they do, the Lord created them to do. But, still, when you see them, sometimes it's something spiritual, right? Especially birds like that. You don't see crows usually everywhere, right? Or what's another bird that you don't really see everywhere? Ravens. You might see them every day, now and again. Or like maybe, what's the big birds? Vultures, right? You see vultures usually. If you see a vulture somewhere, usually there's something dead laying around, because that's what they eat, dead things. Crows are, a lot of times there's death. Somebody died or somebody ready to die. Hey, the Lord show you signs, right? And I know I don't verbatimly say that in the scriptures. I'm not saying that it does, but crows are very smart birds, man. But a lot of situations where there's bad stuff happen, they are there. So that's why I'm saying that the Lord showing you, He uses these animals to show you that there's something going on. There's something going on, something happening. Right? But, we're in a time to where everything's being exposed. Right? People know who these people are in the homeland. They know their real identity. They know who we are, And, hey, quite frankly, we're in a time to where, they're going down. The people that's not supposed to be over there, right? They're going to go down completely very soon, And that's why this dude knows that he got a short time, right? Let me see. We're in a time of let me see. It's in Luke fulfilled. Slovakia. Time of the Gentiles. This is Luke 21 and verse 24. "And they shall fall by the edge of the sword." This is particularly talking about 70 AD, when Titus and Vespasian they took over our homeland during the time of the Romans, right? It says, let me read again. They shall fall away by the edge of the sword, talking about our people, the real people, the Israelites. "And they should be led away captive into all nations." And we went into slavery. "And Jerusalem, which is our homeland, Tel Aviv, should be trodden down to the Gentiles at the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled." Right? So we're at the time now. That's why you got that war going on, man. Right? It says, "And there should be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations." And different nations, they're in distress, right? They're not happy. Right? Different nations, they don't know what to do. They're confused of what to do. Right? It says, "With perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring." There's a lot of things going on, man. Right, that's a lot of damn birds, man. You know, it's gonna be a lot of feces over there. You know, the Lord's showing you damn heathen, man, that your time is up, man. And so this dude, you know, this devil, he gonna make a move, man. You know, he's making moves, and he's gonna make more, right? Because he ain't ready to just go out without no fight.
Do you see this right here? Do you see it? Millions of crows are flying over the sky at Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv is located in Israel, spreading large groups of crows where they are circling the skyline only to disappear shortly after. And now, this is just nature, or is it something else? Crows are actually incredibly intelligent birds. They react fast to changes in their environment. Things like weather shift, noise, air pressure, or human activity. When they gather in large numbers, it is often called a roosting or a mobbing behavior. Crows are actually incredibly intelligent birds.
Yeah, they really smart. They can talk. You know, they can understand humans, man. You know, during the time of Elijah, he got fed by a raven. You know, read an account.
React to changes in their environment, things like weather shift, noise, air pressure, and human activity. When they gather in large numbers like this, is often called a roosting or a mobbing behavior. But when they leave suddenly, that usually means something has changed in their environment. And the
Hey man, yeah, how about YASHAMIAHLA is changing the environment over there? That's what's happening. You know, like I said, I mentioned the war with them and Iran and and all that. You know, there's a lot of things going on, man. You know, the animals, they know that the wicked is in power. They know that the righteous aren't in power, and they're yearning for
crazy thing is, crows have been seen as symbols of war.
Not that one. Tear flag.
עזוב את הדגל.
He tore the damn flag off, man. They flag.
עורב. אנרכיסט. הלו. עזוב את הדגל, בחייאת. אני בשוק. עורב. מה? אני בהלם. אני בשוק.
You just threw it right on the ground. You can't tell me that's not a sign, man. And I know it's from 2023, but still, you know, hey, the Lord, let me get that from the book of Daniel, ruleth in the kingdom of men. In the kingdom of men. This is Daniel 4 in verse 17. It says, this matter is by the decree of the watchers and the man by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set up over it the basis of men. Right? And this was talking about Nebuchadnezzar, I believe, in this account when you read up and a little afterwards. But really the basis of men is Edom, right? And his time of ruling is over. That's why these different things are happening, man. And this ain't just over there in their homeland. You know, the earth is in mourning everywhere, man. You know, wherever this man is at, nobody's happy, right? Everybody's sad, mad, depressed, aggravated. They're just done, They're just done with everything, man. And the earth needs a refreshing. It needs a reset button. All right, and this devil, they going to bring their reset, but it's really the Lord's reset, right? Because as soon as he does it, that's when, he going to step in for his elect, right? They're going to only be able to do so much, man. They're going to only be able to do so much. And we in a time now though where everything is going to continually get worse and worse, right? And they're going to think they're going to be able to just skirt off and go into their bunkers and just be able to hide. And a lot of them will, the elites of them will do that. But when the YAHSHAWAR returns, he's going to grab them out of them bunkers, man. Like you regular, average, Joe Schmo Edomites, you're not going to escape the dangers that's going to take place, You're going to be through, man. You're going to be through. And you people got a lot to pay for, man. You got a lot to pay for. You've been living lavish and living good for a long time. Well, hey, now's the time. It's your time to be at the bottom. You know, the Lord is fair, man. When you go to what's that? Psalms 11. Is it Psalms 10? No, nope. Let me see. No, it's not. I think it's some Proverbs. Salakia. Proverbs. Yep, it says Proverbs 11 and verse 1. It says, a false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. Right. So just how you people were on top, right? You know, you about to be at the bottom, right? And the real people are about to be on top. You know, of course, we have to go through the all hell, breaking loose Jacob's trouble, right? But the Lord's going to be with the Lord's, he's going to be with his elect in this time. You know, you're not going to be able to get all of Israel, you know, most of them, but not all of them, right? Let me go back to Job 12, because there's a scripture that just came into my mind. Let me see. Yeah, it says Job 12 and verse 23. It says, he increaseth the nations and destroyeth them. He enlargeth the nations and straighteneth them again. Right? He taketh away the heart of the chief of the people of the earth. Right? And causeth them to wander in the wilderness where there is no way. Right? And we're in a time of this man being taken out. And, you know, he ain't going to come back into existence. You know, this is the last time that they're going to rule, man. So that's why they're doing everything that they're doing and giving it all they got in wickedness, man. You know? But it's already over, man. The Lord's showing you all types of signs, man. These are one of them. You know, these crows, you know, being over there. Right? But it's over, man. It is over. You know, it is over. You know, so I just want to do a quick video on this, man. You know, Lord willing, hey, we up out of here real soon. Probably in the next couple, maybe in the next couple months, we out of here, maybe. Lord willing. We'll see. But, you know, I'm going to close out. I'm going to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, YASHAMIAHLA, YASHARAHLA. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, to the